arrival area, Philippine Refugee Processing Center. Every few days, a fleet of buses carries hundreds of Indo-Chinese refugees into a little city known as the PRPC. Several hours later, the same buses carry other refugees out of the camp and down to Manila, from where they head off to a new life in a new land. The weathered fishing boat, which carried refugees to the nearby coast, is evidence that the troubles of the distant Southeast Asian mainland are still close enough to touch the Philippines. The surrounding wall lists the many governmental bodies, international organizations, and other agencies that together work to meet the needs of the refugees at the PRPC. Located in a remote corner of the Bataan Peninsula, the camp was established in 1980 by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees at the invitation of the Philippine government. The UNHCR continues to fund the operation of the camp, including the Philippine administration, currently under the direction of Mr. Herman T. Laurel.
The Philippine Refugee Processing Center is intended to be a place where refugees bound for resettlement, particularly in the case of the Philippine Refugee Processing Center here in Morong, those going to the United States and Norway can have an opportunity to be in a place where they can experience an atmosphere of learning, and essentially what they will be doing here in the camp is learning the language of the resettlement country and the culture of the resettlement country. The Philippine Refugee Processing Center also relieves pressure from the first asylum camps and serves as the staging ground for onward movements to resettlement countries. And of course, it serves as a training center.
The PRPC is a refugee camp, but it is much more than a refugee camp. In a way, it's a city with roads, a transportation system, markets, schools, libraries, temples and churches, clinics and hospitals, sports fields and recreation centers, coffee shops and restaurants. And it is also a community of people living and working together. First, there are the refugees themselves, families, friends, neighbors. There are the many service agencies and educational programs that act as an integrated support system for the refugees. There is the staff of those agencies, most of whom live in the camp also. And there are the people from the surrounding area who earn a livelihood from the camp and give it a Filipino flavor. What brings all these elements together and allows them to interrelate as a community is the camp's free and open atmosphere. Before arriving at the PRPC, the Vietnamese, Laotian, and Cambodian refugees have in general spent years in limbo. Some come from first asylum camps in other parts of Southeast Asia. Others fly directly from Vietnam to Manila via the Orderly Departure Program. Most of these ODP cases now involve Amerasians. The 4-hour bus trip between Manila and the camp, as well as flights into and out of the Philippines, is arranged for by the International Organization for Migration, formerly known as the Intergovernmental Committee for Migration, or ICM. One of the first items on the refugees' agenda after they arrive at the camp is an interview with JVA, the Joint Voluntary Agency, which coordinates sponsorship with voluntary agencies in the U.S. Apart from Amerasians and their families, most refugees will be joining family members already in the U.S. By Western standards, living conditions for refugees at the PRPC are pretty basic. The billets are cramped. Cooking, bathing, and toilet facilities serve their purpose. But the facilities are not unfamiliar to most refugees, who appear to take the conditions in stride. The housing for refugees is divided into 10 areas called neighborhoods. The neighborhood also serves as an administrative unit of PRPC. Each has a neighborhood council made up of refugees who are elected to various posts and are responsible for such functions as overseeing distribution of food, ensuring maintenance of sanitation, mediating in neighborhood conflicts, and coordinating recreational and cultural activities. The Food Services and Community Administration Group of PRPC oversees the system of refugee community leadership through social workers assigned to each neighborhood. Mornings are busy and start early. Virtually everyone in the camp goes to mandatory training classes of one kind or another. Over 90% of the refugees in the camp are headed to the United States and attend a course set up by the U.S. State Department.
I studied English for 6 months.
Adults spend 18 weeks studying English as a second language, cultural orientation, and work orientation in a program run by the International Catholic Migration Commission, ICMC. High school-aged youth attend ICMC's Preparation for American Secondary Schools program, or PASS, which is housed in a special campus designed to simulate a U.S. high school. Also part of the U.S. government program is PREP, Preparation for Elementary Programs, administered by the World Relief Corporation. PREP provides English language instruction through skills subject content and also teaches social skills.
Little pigs, you are big now.
Little pigs, you are big now.
You must build your own houses.
Når står du opp?
Jeg står opp klokka 6.
Klokka 6 står du opp, ok. Og han, når står Betty opp?
Betty står opp klokka 7.
Klokka 7 står Betty opp. Enn du, THUYY, når står du opp?
Vi ser frokost klokka.
There are about 200 Vietnamese refugees bound for Norway at the PRPC. The Norwegian Government Refugee Agency, or NGRA, provides Norwegian language and cultural orientation classes for students of all levels. The staff consists of both native Norwegian speakers and Vietnamese Norwegians. Two important programs, which are not government-sponsored, are nonetheless significant in that they pick up the people on the edges. The Center for Assistance to Displaced Persons, CADP, runs preschool classes. And Mormon Christian Services offers classes for the elderly and the handicapped.
Near is almost the same as close. Close.
The mandatory classes, in effect, set the schedule around which life rotates. Family members are on different shifts, studying either morning or afternoon, and working for the community during the other half of the day. All adults who are physically fit perform assigned duties known as work credit, which can range from clerical jobs to cleanup work to caring for children or serving as a translator. The requirement aims to keep refugees productively busy during a period of disruption in their lives.
Give me one task of Mr. Dai as a janitor.
A work credit enhancement program run by PRPC trains a small number of refugee workers and leaders, as well as their Filipino supervisors, covering interpersonal skills, work values, and supervisory skills. For people with time on their hands and the will to do something constructive with it, there are additional classes to avail of. The Philippine Baptist Refugee Ministry's vocational training program offers a number of popular courses, including auto mechanics, U.S. house construction, and American homemaking. Students at higher English levels can also avail of typing and even driver education.
What is the passage all about?
Some agencies offer special interest class, such as GED instruction in the evening.
Going to graduate, you have
ICMC's neighborhood libraries and learning laboratories are open during off-class hours. The Young Adult Services Program provides structured recreation and educational activities for young people. It's funded by World Vision and operates in close coordination with the PRPC administration and ICMC's culture orientation classes. The refugees themselves run a number of educational programs.
Chương trình và mục tiêu này, chúng tôi được sự hỗ trợ của văn phòng CIDP.
We teach Vietnamese grammar, Vietnamese language to children, and English grammar to adults. This class is very necessary. Each culture has its own values. This program aims to help children remember their native language when they live in the U.S.
Trong cái ngôn ngữ thứ hai khi họ đặt chân vào đất Mỹ.
Võ đường, làm võ đạo đường để huấn luyện vô Vietnam.
Vietnam sponsors a Kung Fu class. The class gives both spiritual and technical training. Vietnam aims to preserve and develop the traditional culture of Vietnam. The teachers want to remind the youth of their native culture so that they could serve their second country more effectively.
3, nhỏ lượt dài lên. 4, 5.
Hundreds of young people participate in scouting. There are also occasional cultural shows or exhibitions. For those who want activity during their leisure time, there are always ways to find it. But it seems that most people don't mind just hanging around the billet.
Thứ nhất thì cũng xin phép anh cho tôi phân tích cái vấn đề nó trở thành ra hai.
People here are not worried about how long they will stay because they know they will go to the U.S. I know I only have one job to do, and that's to go to school. There are no pressures. Everybody feels that life here is just short. They feel more secure and more recharged. The bad attitude is reduced.
For many refugees, whether coming from other camps or direct from Vietnam, the PRPC is an important halfway house. Here, before they reach their country of resettlement, refugees can start their adjustment, begin putting the past behind them and setting their sights and minds on a new life to come. They feel the strain of separation, the worries, the uncertainties. But they can go through this in a place that's not so foreign, where they don't have to worry about paying the bills, and where they have a lot of support at hand.
May I know why you come to CFSI, Huấn?
Playing a vital role in the support system for refugees is Community and Family Services International, which offers counseling for refugees with emotional, psychological, or behavioral problems. Cases run the gamut: marital conflicts, antisocial behavior, traumatic shock, attempted suicides. Even here, refugees themselves play a helping role as paraprofessional translators and cultural interpreters for the agency's staff.
One of the very unique aspects of our mental health agency is the use of paraprofessionals, which means we actually utilize refugees themselves who have some English speaking skills, and they go through a mental health training program so that they are used as interpreters and cultural interpreters as well as language interpreters with our caseworkers and our psychologists and our community educators to bridge the cultural gap between the refugees and the professional staff.
Many refugees seek comfort or continuity in religion. They have themselves over the years built temples which are tended by monks present among the refugee population. A number of Christian churches and other religious organizations also minister to the spiritual side of life. In any population, especially one that has suffered the rigors that the refugees have, illnesses are going to occur. And, as is natural, there are bound to be a lot of additions to that population, ensuring that more people leave the camp than entered. The Health Services Group of PRPC oversees refugee health. For minor problems, the main resource is the neighborhood clinic. At the next level are 2 dispensaries, one in each main sector of the camp. The camp hospital provides consultation and laboratory services and has staff and facilities to handle more serious cases. Provide a subsistence level diet. Some refugees are drugs, vegetables, and social jobs. Many people do not refugee. The hospital also provides emergency services to Filipinos from the surrounding community. The Health Services Group provides dental care as well. The International Organization for Migration handles diagnosis, treatment, and documentation of certain communicable diseases and does a pre-departure health check. A program run by the Adventist Development and Relief Agency weighs and measures all refugee children and monitors those identified as malnourished. The program provides supplemental feeding and also offers nutrition classes for parents of malnourished children.
Don't forget the first food group. Now we come to the second food group. Bodybuilding food. Very good. Everybody. Bodybuilding food. So we have the second as
Food supplies purchased out of the tight UNHCR budget provide a subsistence-level diet. Some refugees raise gardens with vegetables to eat or to sell. Many people can buy extra with money sent by relatives in other countries. CADP runs a non-profit money exchange service in camp and even oversees mail distribution. The agency also distributes clothing to needy refugees ready for departure. Security within this city of 15 to 20,000 people is provided both by neighborhood refugee patrol units and by a commercial security service.
Vâng, đều phối hợp với tất cả cơ quan hành chính của chính quyền phía ở đây.
Every neighborhood has a peace and order group. This group cooperates with the camp security guards to maintain security in the neighborhoods. This group also informs refugees of the rules and regulations of the camp.
Unlike most other refugee camps in Southeast Asia, PRPC is not a restrictive military enclosure. Despite a few limitations, the refugees are basically free to go about their business within the confines of what the camp has to offer. Business is one of the things many refugees go about. Refugee-run coffee shops, soft drink stores, hairdressing parlors, and tailor shops can be found all over camp. Photographers, craftsmen, and artists also freely exercise their trades. The Sunday morning market scene could just as easily be taking place in a Vietnamese or a Lao town, hundreds of miles away. Refugees are not the only entrepreneurs. Filipino vendors sell goods at the markets and run food stands and other small businesses throughout the camp. Hundreds of people from the nearby town of Morong and the surrounding region derive a livelihood from the camp, while hundreds of others are directly employed there. And this is in addition to more than 1,000 Filipino employees who are from other parts of the country. As the end of their training grows near, refugees naturally begin to get anxious about their coming departure. Usually by the time they finish their classes, they have received their assurance of sponsorship and then their flight schedule. After that, it's only a matter of time before they find themselves on a bus, saying goodbye to their friends and to this interlude in their lives. This statue was set up by Cambodians in 1982, at a time when they numbered in the thousands at the PRPC. There are few of the Khmer now. The number of Laotians has also dwindled, but they too have left their mark on this little lost corner of Indochina. The Vietnamese, still bubbling out of the troubled country, are now the predominant group. Among them, for a time at least, we see hundreds of Amerasians, a group with an unfortunate past and an uncertain future. The numbers change and the faces change, but the presence remains. In a real sense, it's unfortunate that a place like the Philippine Refugee Processing Center needs to exist. But in another sense, it's good that it does. It's a place where people from many different countries have come together to help other people and to make a difference.